how to get started with eXp Realty as a new real estate agent. So let's say it's your first day on board with eXp Realty and you're brand new to the real estate industry. What do you do next? Well, over the course of the next few minutes, I will break down step by step what I would do if today were my first day on board with eXp Realty as a newly licensed real estate agent. And it's my hope that in making this video, those of you who this is more applicable to can get off to the right start in the real estate industry sooner rather than later. My name is Tyler Roicki. I help people build income and wealth in real estate, and I run an international team at eXp Realty. If you get any value whatsoever out of the video, all I'd ask is that you like, comment, and subscribe so that I can continue to share more information and resources with you in the future. And if there's anything I can possibly do to help you now or in the future, or if you have any questions as you're watching the video, go ahead and reach out. You can send me an email and you'll find that information along with some other helpful resources for you in the description below. Now, with that in mind, let's dive into the video. Selecting the right brokerage is such an important decision, especially when you are launching your real estate career, because you're going to be leaning on the brokerage for the key resources that you will need to effectively operate your real estate business. You're going to want to have some modern training, the right support structure, and the right opportunity in terms of how the compensation model works. If you're watching this, it's likely that you've already made that decision and have decided that eXp Realty is the right brokerage for you. Now, if you haven't already, I want to point out that I did make another video on this channel which addresses the question of if eXp Realty is good for newly licensed real estate agents. So if you're not already decided that this is where you'll want to start, go ahead and give that video a watch. I think you'll find the information in there very helpful as you're reviewing your options and ultimately making the decision on where you would like to get started at. And getting into the industry, you're going to have a decision to make between being a solo agent and being a part of a local real estate team. While joining a local team will be the right decision for some people, I would say for a vast majority of real estate agents getting started in the industry today, being a solo agent is probably what they are aiming to do. And the difference comes down to building your own brand versus building someone else's. Oftentimes, people getting started in real estate are excited about the idea of being their own boss and really taking ownership of their life and their work. And so if that's where you're at, being a solo agent is probably what you're aiming for, because it's really the difference between being your own boss and having a position that's more like a job where you're fulfilling a role within a particular team and following their structure and systems and closing business and getting a smaller portion of the commission as a result. So if you go with the team and you're serving the leads that are coming in through the team, it's almost as if you are an employee serving that business and not really building your own. And if that's the case, what happens when those leads go away? Do you really want to position yourself to be dependent on the leads that are coming in through the team? Because I'll say this, while local teams are all structured differently, there's a high likelihood that you're going to be largely responsible for generating your own leads and business within the team, but they may have an existing structure to plug you into in order to do that. And maybe they do serve you leads as well to handle and close, but like I said, would you rather be an employee working the team's business, or would you rather be your own boss building your own business and brand in the process? What's special about eXp Realty though is you get the best of both worlds. As a solo agent joining eXp Realty, you have the opportunity to build your own personal brand. You get to keep a majority of your commission while being a part of a larger group. You get all the tools, training, resources, mentorship, support, even more than you would get most oftentimes in your traditional 50-50 team model. And that's simply because eXp takes a different approach to the 4 pillars that we need as real estate agents to effectively operate our real estate business. And those things are support and mentorship, training and masterminding, leads, and compensation. And I'll say this, if you're still at a point where you're exploring eXp Realty and trying to figure out whether or not it's the right fit for you, go ahead and reach out to me. I'd love to make sure that you have the full and complete information in terms of how the business model operates and how exactly eXp takes a different approach to those 4 key areas to help us as real estate agents effectively build our real estate businesses. Now that leads us to how to get started with eXp Realty as a new real estate agent. And I want to break this video down into 7 key things that you're going to want to do the moment you're on board with eXp Realty. The first thing you're going to want to do is to get into Workplace and start joining different groups. Workplace by Facebook is the communication platform that agents and staff use in the company when they're not in eXp world. Workplace is like the Facebook you know, except closed off to the company, and it's how agents are collaborating with each other, sharing ideas, and even sharing leads. So there's various groups on Workplace, from eXp News and different strategy specific groups, state specific groups, and there's also referral groups in which agents are sending and receiving referrals all throughout the day between the 80,000 plus agents across the company. When you take all the different referral groups out there, there's well over 100 referrals being sent out and received by another agent within the company for agents that have a client going to one market from another and they need someone to help take care of them there. So a lot of business happens agent to agent within this company on Workplace through the referral group. So that's an opportunity if you're on the ball and tapped into that and keeping an eye out for business that is being exchanged in your local market area. But that's not all. There's also groups that masterminds happen. There's a group that I love called eXp Family Tree, and it's where some of the top leaders in the company today are sharing tips and resources and hosting Zoom calls and trainings throughout the week. And it's some very high level stuff that you can plug into as well if that's a group you join. But there's many groups on Workplace. There's even listing presentations that get shared. And if you're spending some time plugging into the key groups you'll want to be a part of, it will be a place in which you're going to have different resources and just more to tap into throughout the week to keep you informed, keep you up to date, and keep you connected with others in the company to get what you need when you need it throughout the week. And that brings us to the second thing you're going to want to make sure you do, which is to get into eXp World. Spend some time going around to the different departments and get familiar with where you find the different support staff throughout the week. Pull up the eXp events calendar and get to know where the different trainings are and at what time throughout the week you can expect to find different trainings, from the Fast Start series, which you'll want to plug into as someone who's newly licensed and brand new to the company. You'll want to go through all of those training modules in the Fast Start, but also as far as where the icon trainings are and when they tend to happen, and just get familiar with where you'll find those. Get familiar with how to get to your broker stateroom, because that's a place you're going to go from time to time, especially as you begin working clients and transactions, because that's how you're going to go get the support from your state broker team in real time when you need it. You're not going to be sending emails off or making phone calls. The best way to get the help you need in real time from your broker team is to go see them in eXp World in real time. And it's important that you know exactly how to get in there and how to find them, because it's going to assure that you get the help you need when you need it without delay throughout the week as you're going about your business. And some suggestions I'd make are: 1, attend your first state meeting; 2, attend your first state's contracts class; and 3, attend your first eXp leadership meeting, which those happen on Friday morning. And the state contracts class and state meeting, it's going to happen depending on when your state hosts that, but you can pull up the events calendar. You can see all the state specific events on there as well. And if you hop on Workplace and go to your state's group, you can probably find your next scheduled state's contracts class on there as well if you use the search function. Or If you can't find it anywhere, go and ask somebody. You know, you can make a post on Workplace, or you can go hop in the broker stateroom and just talk to a staff member and probably get the info you need on that. And that brings us to the third thing you're going to want to do, which is to learn the basics of the different tech tools and systems within eXp. For transaction management, we have SkySlope. So you're going to want to take the basic and the advanced training with that, get to know how to use it, how to send out documents, contracts for signature to clients, and you know, how to upload files once you begin working transactions. So there's that. There's KV Core. You're going to want to go into eXp Enterprise and make sure that you've activated your KV Core account. You're going to have to go in and do that in order for them to set that up for you. But once that's done, you'll be able to get onto KV Core. It will serve as your consumer facing website, and you can use it as a tool to help you generate more business. And there's so many trainings about how to put it to work for you. So plug into that and really learn how to navigate it and use it as your CRM to manage the contacts you have, the leads you're generating if you're using it for that purpose, and really get to know how to use it, because it's such a powerful platform. And if you put it to use, there's a lot of agents that are paying a lot of money to have that platform, and you get the benefit of getting it as a part of the value that you get from eXp. So put it to work for you and your business, and you know, get to know how to use it along the way. And also, if you're new to the real estate business, you're going to want to learn how to use your MLS, and so plug into any specific trainings that your MLS hosts. That will be through your MLS, not through eXp, but I want to just make mention of it because it's very important that you learn how to navigate your MLS and know how to use it as the powerful tool it is to help you research different properties and data, and really be able to help your clients with what they need in real time as you begin working with people. Now, I want to emphasize, while those first three things are so important to do, to plug into Workplace, to get to know your way around eXp world, and to get to know how to use the basic tools and resources we have access to that we'll need to operate our real estate business on a daily basis, I cannot emphasize enough that those three things will not move the needle forward in your real estate business. Those things are simply the baseline in terms of what you need to be a functioning real estate agent and being able to get the help and support and training that you need to operate your real estate business. And so the next few things are really geared toward what you will need to be doing in order to be a productive real estate agent in this business. So knock out those first three things as quickly as you possibly can. You should not be days or weeks on end into this company and to not have done those first three things. Get them all knocked out the first day if you can, and as far as the contracts class, the trainings, etc., just get that done over the course of your first week. Put it on the schedule, knock it out. That way you can be up and running and know how to navigate everything and know exactly how to get what you need when you need it. So that brings us to the fourth thing you're going to want to do once you're fully on board as a newly licensed real estate agent with eXp, which is to set SMART goals and reverse engineer it into a daily plan of action. A big mistake that I see far too many people making when they get started in the real estate industry is they come into it with an employee mindset. So they start out in the business, they're not resourceful, they're not self-accountable, and what happens is you don't see the immediate result of that, but you see a delayed result that you realize months and months down the road when you realize that you don't have any business whatsoever coming in. And that's because in real estate, there's no immediate repercussions for not doing the things you need to do on a daily basis. So most people who get started in this business simply don't get to a spot where they're doing the things they need to do on a daily basis to move the needle forward in their business. And so the result of that for most is that months and months down the road, they're broke and ultimately fell out of the real estate business. And so the way that we can get off to the right start from day one is to set SMART goals. And when I say SMART, it's an acronym. That means specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound. So to break it down, I would tell you to set 3 personal goals and 3 professional goals that you could see yourself achieving, that you would like to achieve over the course of your next 12 months in the business. So the 3 professional goals are going to be related to what you do in your real estate business. The 3 personal goals, not so much. And I say that because I believe it's important to consider what you want to accomplish, not just in real estate, but in your life. And so that's why I would tell you to really dial in both of those things. And once you have those things dialed in, we can work backwards and figure out what your daily schedule is going to be based around the action steps that you can do today to progress towards each of those goals that you set. For the professional goals you set, you're going to want to design your day largely based around income producing activities that can move the needle forward in your real estate business. And this is where self-accountability comes into play. It's the difference between doing what you have to do versus what you want to do. There's so many things that you could spend your time doing as a real estate agent, but there are a small number of things that you can do that will actually be productive in terms of moving the needle forward in your business. So designing websites, designing marketing material, scrolling through social media, those are not productive things. Those things will not move the needle forward in your business. But generating leads, having conversations, connecting with people, anything that is related to that is something that will drive the needle forward in your business. So you're going to want to prioritize and design your schedule around sticking to the game plan in terms of what time frame and how often you are going to spend time on revenue producing activities to drive your business forward. So put on your schedule the things that are proven to help you get your name out there and to grow and scale your real estate business. It's important that you put yourself out there and begin connecting with people, because that is what will move the needle forward in your business. Quite simply put, if you have no conversations, you will have no business. And if you have countless conversations, eventually you will have an abundance of business as a result. And that brings us to the fifth thing which you're going to want to do, which is to select a prospecting method. You're going to want to choose one method of traditional prospecting to really hone in on and focus on, and to make it a very consistent thing that you do throughout the week to build your business. Some methods of traditional prospecting include door knocking, cold calling, and hosting open houses. Regardless of which method you choose, you're going to want to take a proactive form of prospecting and really being the person who initiates conversations with people in your local market area. And throughout the days and weeks ahead, you're going to want to make sure that you're doing everything that you possibly can to put yourself out there and to create conversations with other people to the point where, looking back months from now, a year plus from now, you shouldn't have the feeling that you could have done anything more in order to move your business forward. So that's the extent that you should be making it a priority to really focus on the prospecting method that you select that will drive your business forward. And you've got to do it day in and day out consistently over a long period of time, no matter what you feel like the immediate result of it is, because the payoff is not what happens today, it's what happens in the future when you build this pipeline of business as a result of consistently doing this prospecting method, which at some point, sooner or later, is going to feel like it's very boring and very mundane, but it's your ability to push through that time and to keep going anyway that is going to be the separator between actually building a substantial business as a result and building little to nothing as a result. You've got to keep going even when it gets boring, even when you feel like changing up the strategy. Stick with it, keep building up on it, really hone in on it, and strive to become the best that you can possibly be at that particular method of prospecting. And within eXp Realty, you have the opportunity to learn from people doing any form of prospecting that you want to select at the highest level. So plug into those trainings, attend the icon trainings taught by people producing the kind of results that you would like to achieve with any one of these particular methods. Learn exactly what they're doing, how they've dialed it in, and go and apply it in the best way you possibly can for yourself, because you don't have to do anything new. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Take what is already working and go and run with it in your own local market. So plug in, dial in, and really work towards being the best you possibly can with the method that you select. And if you do that and do it consistently day in and day out for a long period of time, that's when you will start to see the result. But you got to keep going, even if it's months on end before you see any result whatsoever. You got to be willing to keep going no matter what, because I promise you, if it worked for somebody else, it will work for you. All methods of prospecting work, provided that you are creating conversations with other people consistently. It's not a question of if it works. If you talk to enough people, you will find the people who you can help with their real estate needs when it is time that they need your help. And that brings us to the sixth thing to do, which is to set up all your social media platforms and your online presence. So decide which social media platform or platforms that you would like to have a presence on, and make an announcement on them that you are in the real estate business. And don't be salesy with it, tell the story with it. Give context to your audience on why it is that you decided to get into the real estate industry. Doing that will provide an opportunity to stir up some initial conversations. In most instances, it's these initial conversations you'll have with the people who you're already connected with today that will lead to you finding one of your first clients. So I'd pick at least one social media platform that you plan on having a consistent presence on, whether that's Instagram, your personal Facebook, and if you're on Facebook, go ahead and set up a business page as well that you can use for any ads you want to run if you ever do that, or otherwise any more real estate specific content and posts if you're sharing listings or open houses or whatever the case might be there. Do that on your business page, and your personal profile is where you can make it a point of staying connected with your audience. Or Instagram, I would pick one primary platform though that you're going to maintain a presence on and really make it a point to be connected with the people who you are meeting and who you already know, and staying top of mind with them in terms of what you're working on, what you're excited about, and just making a point for them to be able to see you in their feed doing positive things in real estate, whether it's on their story or feed post. I mean, it's really simple for you to maintain that over the course of the week as you're going about your business and life, kind of in the background as you're working on whatever you're doing to drive your business forward throughout the week. Building and maintaining your presence online is how you can really start to build your personal brand and stay top of mind and relevant to the people who you know today and who you meet along the way as you're building your business and life from this point on. Generating leads and building your personal brand are day in, day out what your top two focal points should be as you're going about building your business and life from this point on in real estate. And that brings us to the seventh and final thing I would tell you to do from day one, which is to focus on conversations. A lot of people get caught up on this idea of leads and getting leads, and almost to the extent where it's all about numbers and not actually having conversations or dialogues with people. So I'm going to tell you, it's not all about leads. It's about conversations and actually connecting with people. Because you can have a bunch of leads. You could buy a list of leads or, pay somebody for all of these leads, but none of that matters if you have a bunch of leads but zero conversations. No conversations equates to no business. So the name of the game isn't how many leads you can get, it's how many conversations you can have. And not even just the quantity of conversations, but also the quality of conversations. So this goes back to prospecting. Focus on the quality of your prospecting, not just the volume of the connections and conversations you're having. Make it a point to actually connect with people, to get their contact information so that you can stay connected with them and share more value with them over the course of time. Conversations is what leads to clients. So make it the number one point of everything you do, from your method of prospecting to your online presence. Make it about getting to a point where you're having conversations with people. And if you do those 7 things, you will be off to a great start with eXp Realty. You'll be dialed into the key platforms and resources to get the help you need in real time when you need it. And if you're following through with steps 4 through 7, you'll be doing what you need to do on a daily basis to move the needle forward in your business, to not stay still and stagnant, but to be proactive in creating conversations, building your personal brand, and ultimately building your business as you do that consistently over a long period of time. At this point, here's what I tell you: if there is anything that I can do to help you now or in the future, go ahead and send me an email. You'll find that information along with some other helpful resources for you in the description below. And if you found this video helpful in any way, all I'd ask is that you like, comment, and subscribe so that I can continue to share more tips and resources with you in the time ahead. And last thing I'd say is that if you happen to be at a point along your journey where you're exploring eXp Realty and trying to figure out whether or not this is where you want to operate your real estate business at, go ahead and reach out. I'd be happy to help you figure out what aligning with eXp Realty would look like for you if that's something that you're interested in exploring further. So go ahead and send me an email. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.